Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us to our CyberSkills2Work program info session. Before we begin, I wanted to go over some housekeeping rules. Please be sure to mute your microphones and keep your video off during the presentation. If you have questions during the presentation, please keep your questions in the chat box that's in the Zoom window. And we also have allocated some time at the end of the presentation for you to ask additional questions and more detailed questions. And during that time, you can unmute your microphone. This meeting is being recorded, and I will be sending out the meeting recording tomorrow during the day. So without further ado, we'll begin our presentation. Okay. Could we go to the next slide? So our goals for today, we have some great speakers that will be joining us, our team, our faculty and staff. We really want to make sure that we kind of provide you some current trends and updates of what's happening in cybersecurity so that you understand the importance of what we're trying to accomplish. We also want to provide you a program overview and highlight the important benefits of what we're trying to accomplish within our program. We have some amazing speakers with us tonight, and they will be giving you information about the courses, the program as a whole, and answer any questions you may have. So let's meet our team. Okay, first off, we have Dr. Al-Sheikh.
Hi, everyone. I'm Iman Al-Sheikh. It's great to have you all with us this evening. Thank you for making time to join us. We're thrilled to be here and to be talking about this program, and we hope that you are interested and that we can answer your questions and that you will help us also spread the word to others who may be interested. So a little bit about me. I am been with UWF here for 20 years now. Time flies when you're having fun. Started as an assistant professor in computer science and currently serve as associate vice president with the Center for Cybersecurity. My passion is in cybersecurity and enabling others to join or advance in the field. And my background is in computer science and artificial intelligence. And I've been honored to have the opportunity here at UWF to work with an amazing team at the center and our leadership, as well as launch and lead several programs, including this one, to really designed to not only advance the field, but to broaden participation. And so we're thrilled to be with you all this evening. Thanks.
Okay, next up we have Dr. Ghosh.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tirthankar Ghosh. I'm the Associate Director and Professor at the Center. I have 15 plus years of experience in cybersecurity education and research. I joined UWF in 2018, so it's about 2.5 years here. Before that, I was in St. Cloud, Minnesota for 13 plus years. My area of expertise specifically is in anomaly detection, excuse me, threat intelligence, adversary behavior, and I teach courses like threat intelligence, network defense, incident response at the center. And we thank you all, welcome here, and we have a great program to present today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ghosh. Next up, we have Dr. Francia.
Hello, my name is Guillermo Francia. I joined the center 2.5 years ago, and my background is in computer science, and I teach the network defense course, incident response, and my area of interest is mostly on industrial control system security and also automotive security and drone security. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Francia. We also have Dr. Hall. Okay. Dr. Hall is our research scientist for the Center for Cybersecurity. Also with us today, we have Mr. Garrett.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Situation Room Studios. This is the place where I will produce training for the program. I'm an assistant director and instructor with the Center for Cybersecurity. I focus on getting you certified and designing courses that help you get hired. That's my focus. I also spend a lot of time in the risk management field with RMF and CMMC and all those wonderful acronyms that tell us just how dangerous cyber can be and try to give you ways to mitigate against it. Welcome tonight. We're glad to have you. If you have any questions, please let us know.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Is Dr. Snyder with us? Okay, Dr. Snyder is one of our faculty fellows who will be teaching a few of the courses here at the Center for Cybersecurity. He's also the chair of the Department of Information Technology with the University of West Florida. We also have with us Mr. Rhodes.
Hi, everyone. Jim Rhodes here. I am the Community Public Relations Director for the Center. Been with the Center since August of 2019. I've been involved with the tech and cybersecurity industry for, wow, well over 13 years now. When I have any free time, I use it to serve as the director for the I-10 Technology Summit that is hosted out on the beach every fall. Looking forward to a great discussion tonight, and thank you for coming.
Wonderful, thank you. Also, we have Ms. Summers.
Hello, everyone. I'm Laura Summers. I'm the business manager for the Center for Cybersecurity, and I hope you enjoy our information session this evening.
Wonderful, thank you, Laura. We also have Ms. White.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Julie White. I'm the administrative specialist with the Center for Cybersecurity. I've been with the center since 2014, and I will be working with Monica to help provide administrative support for this program.
Thank you, Ms. White. Also, you have me. I'm Monica Respondek. I'm the program coordinator for the CyberSkills2Work program. I will be working with a lot of you who decide to apply. And if you are still wondering and need more information or just have some questions you need to ask, I'm the person to contact. My information will be provided at the end. And without further ado, Dr. El-Sheikh will lead us in the presentation.
Great, thanks, Monica, and thank you, team. And you will, we're going to, as Monica said, make sure to have plenty of time for discussion and for Q&A. So you'll have time to ask questions and get to know our team better and ask them questions at the end of this as well. And in the meantime, if you have questions, please feel free to post them in the chat window. Those of you, I know we made some announcements early on, but if you're just joining, we're thrilled to have you. And so feel free to share your questions as we go. So I want to just take some time, if everybody can see the screen, to talk about the program and provide an overview. We all firmly believe and know that cybersecurity is crucial to our national security, and offers huge and a variety of career opportunities. And we want to help convince you all and help you all see that opportunities that cybersecurity could offer you as well. So if we've shared some resources here and some data with you, CyberSeek is a great resource that really shows how much there's a need for cybersecurity jobs across our state and across our nation, and what types of jobs as well. That data shows that there's over 500,000 unfilled cybersecurity positions in the U.S. as we speak. In addition, globally, the estimates are even higher. So some studies have shown that we are facing a global deficit of 2.8 million, and perhaps another 4 million needed to enhance and expand the cybersecurity workforce. Moreover, the cyber landscape continues to evolve. And so the knowledge and skills that are needed for those roles continue to change. And our goal is to provide a program that keeps up with job needs and to provide those foundational knowledge, skills, and competencies. And more importantly, too, we want to make sure that we bring in the knowledge, the theory, and also the hands-on skills that are so crucial to many jobs in cybersecurity. So this is some of that data from CyberSeek that I mentioned a minute ago, where you look at, this is showing a map of jobs filled and job growth, job opportunities across the US. And you'll see that, you know, here in Florida, we're a hotspot, right? So we have over 23,000 unfilled jobs in the state of Florida. We have over 1,500 jobs right here in Northwest Florida, or what we call the Cyber Coast. And across the country, we have over 521,000 unfilled jobs. So our goal through this and other programs that we lead at the University of West Florida is to help prepare individuals and help place individuals into those roles and solve the cyber skills deficit. Why do we do this, and why UWF? Well, because, you know, our primary mission is really to kind of advance the field. You know, what can we do to advance cybersecurity education? That includes workforce development, while serving the broader community, whether that's the Northwest Florida area, our state, our region, or national security. We are honored to be a National Center of Academic Excellence, or CAE in short. I know that's a mouthful. And that is a highly coveted designation in the higher education world. It's a designation that is provided through the National Security Agency and Department of Homeland Security. And really, colleges and universities across the country strive to get this designation, because what it means is that we have the gold standard, whether it's through the curricula we offer, through the faculty we employ, through the engagement opportunities, or through our own IT security policies. We're also honored to be one of 5 hubs across the country for CAE schools. And so while there is a growing number of centers of academic excellence across the country, which is great to see, the NSA has selected 5 institutions to serve as hubs, with the broader goal of really advancing cyber throughout our region. And so you can see there that our region includes Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Puerto Rico, and the US Virgin Islands. And so we work closely with our federal partners and with colleges and universities and state partners across that region to advance cyber education. And what that means for you all as potential students is that we're always kind of on the leading edge of what needs to happen and what is happening in cyber education, because we've got a broader mission to not only support our institution, but to support the region and the nation. Okay, let's get to the important stuff. The UWF CyberSkills2Work Program, and that's the reason why we're here. We're thrilled to be launching this. I'll tell you a little bit more about kind of the national initiative that it's a part of in a minute, but let's first focus on what we're going to offer here at UWF. It is an intensive 5-month cybersecurity training program that will be offered 100% asynchronous online. And so what that means is that you have to be able to commit to working hard during those 5 months, but the program will be offered asynchronously and online so that you have the flexibility of completing program requirements at your own time frame within that duration. Our goal is to train, certify, and help place participants in cybersecurity jobs. We want to get them help place them into cybersecurity jobs, specifically in critical infrastructure sectors. That is where our nation needs the most talent and the top talent. If you have been following any news of the latest SolarWinds breach and other breaches, you see the damage that is occurring and could continue to occur to our nation's critical infrastructure. And so specifically, this program will help place those participants for roles in financial services, including banks, financial services organizations, defense organizations, and energy organizations. It is primarily intended to support transitioning military, transitioning first responders, and veterans. And we're honored to be serving that population. UWF is a top military-friendly school, and one of our goals, always at the back of our mind, is how can we support our military, first responders, and veterans. And so through this grant, we're thrilled to be able to support them and help them prepare and launch cybersecurity careers. Eligible participants will have no costs, so their costs will be paid through an NSA grant that I'll talk about in a minute. So we're thrilled to be able to offer this at no cost. And we are looking at the first cohort will be 30 participants for the 5-month training program. Next year, if you want kind of a peek ahead into next year, we plan to offer 2 programs, one similar to the one that we're offering this year, 30 participants in one cohort for entry-level cybersecurity positions, as well as another cohort of 30 participants for an advanced cybersecurity training program. And the program will provide certifications and digital badges and credentials to document participant skills and competencies. So at the end of the day, you will have something to show through those certifications and badges to document and demonstrate to employers the competencies that you have developed. And like I said, if you've got questions, feel free to share them in the chat window or save them for the Q&A session later. Okay, so some of the benefits of the program include the accessibility and the flexibility that we can offer through making it asynchronous online. We'll get to talk more, and you got to meet our faculty team earlier, and they are doing a phenomenal job of converting and adapting the courses and the education that we offer to the online format and to asynchronous online to make them flexible and accessible for students. The courses will provide both foundational knowledge and hands-on skills. So what you need to really know, the theory, the foundation, the behind the topics, as well as help you develop those hands-on skills using our Florida Cyber Range. You will get support from UWF faculty and staff and mentoring along the way through the program. And we've really designed the program to offer a holistic approach to student success. So it's not just a set of courses that you're going to take, but throughout there will be other virtual sessions, career development preparation, such as interviewing skills, resume development, connecting with employers and job opportunities to really kind of provide that holistic solution and help you succeed. In addition, as part of the national initiative, we're also developing a national cybersecurity employers network that will start with employers across those 3 sectors: financial services, defense, and energy, not just in Northwest Florida, but across the country, so that we can identify what job opportunities they have. We can help prepare students for those jobs, and we can help connect you to those job opportunities. And as I mentioned, those who successfully complete the courses and program will get digital badges and credentials to document their success.
Dr. Elsheikh?
Yes.
There's a question from Mr. Highland. He's asking if there's only 30 participants to be accepted in the program currently.
Yes, so for the first cohort, there will be 30, we will accept 30 students into the program that we plan to launch from March through July of this year. And then next year at UWF, we will have 2 cohorts, also 30 students in each, one for designed to prepare for entry-level positions and one designed for more advanced positions. Does that answer your question? Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, I also want to talk about the national program that this is a part of. to give you all an idea of kind of, the importance of this to us at UWF and on the national scale. So this is part of a national initiative, the National Cybersecurity Workforce Development Program that we are launching. We were selected to lead by the National Security Agency. It is funded through a $6 million grant, 2-year grant from the National Security Agency. We're just thrilled to have the opportunity to lead this program, to really kind of develop the framework for it. So the goal of that program is develop a national program, the one that's sustainable and that's scalable. And we are working with 9 other institutions who are also designated as centers of academic excellence to develop that program and offer workforce pathways just like ours at UWF, but at other CAE institutions as well. And so, so over the next 2 years, we aim to prepare and hopefully place 615 transitioning military, first responders, and veterans across the country. Some of those will be through our programs at UWF, but as you see here in the list, we're also working with the University of South Florida, the University of Houston, Augusta University, Dakota State, Eastern New Mexico, Florida International, Metropolitan State, San Antonio College, and the University of Texas at San Antonio. And so all of those institutions are part of the coalition team led by UWF, with the goal that in 2 years from now, not only will we have trained and hopefully prepared and placed 615 individuals across the country, our goal is to really have this serve as the foundation for a ever-growing national program by bringing in additional employers, by supporting additional students in the future, and by opening it up to additional CAE colleges and universities so that we can really significantly change the pipeline and that workforce deficit. These are some of the critical infrastructure partners that we have so far. So I want to make sure that you are aware that, we are certainly, I'd love to hear in the chat window, how many of you are in the local Northwest Florida area, or where else are you from? So maybe share, if you're willing to, where you're located in the chat window while we're going. So these are some of the employers and the partners that we hope to bring in. Oh, that's great. We got Jacksonville, Pensacola, Destin. Fantastic. So you can see that not only are we bringing a large set of partners to the program, but we're also leveraging that coalition team that we're building across the country, from Eastern New Mexico University to Augusta University and Georgia and all the way in between, to really bring together all of their partners and bring them into this national program so that then we can help connect students with as many people as possible. Okay, so a little bit about program eligibility. And I think we've got, if we could clear the markings on the screen, that might be helpful, but hopefully y'all can still see it. So these are the eligibility requirements for the program per the grant that we're operating off and honored to receive from the National Security Agency. You must be a US citizen or lawful permanent resident to participate. The funding is designed to support transitioning military personnel, transitioning or retired first responders and veterans. The minimum requirements is a high school diploma or equivalent, and some IT or cybersecurity experience would also be beneficial to help kind of really, since this is an intensive 5-month program, if you are in a technology role or have some IT experience or cyber experience, that would be helpful in advancing and succeeding in the program. The preferred requirements for the program is a bachelor's degree in an IT or STEM area, at least 2 years of IT or cybersecurity experience, and an active or past security clearance is also preferable. As many, I see as you all are posting in the chat window, many of you are in the Pensacola, Eglin, Destin, Alabama area, many of the cybersecurity jobs are in our area here are tied to the defense assets that we have, the strong bases that we have in town, at Quarry Station, Eglin Air Force Base, et cetera, and the defense contractors that work and collaborate with those bases. And so a security clearance is also preferable.
Dr. Elsheikh, there's a couple questions. The first couple is centered around the participants, the 30 participants. How will they be selected? And if they are not chosen, can they reapply the following cohort period?
Okay, so what was the first part? How will they know?
How will they be selected?
So we are going to look at I'll get to it in a minute. And we may want to, if you can keep track of the questions as they're coming in, maybe we make sure we get to them at the end as well. So what we're going to do is look at those eligibility requirements and those preferred eligibility requirements that we just, sorry, let me go back here. Preferred requirements that we looked at. And then you will be required, we'll get to that in a minute, to submit additional documentation along with this. So, you know, we're asking you to submit letters of reference as well as a letter of intent. And so the program team will review those requirements and the submitted documentation and review applications and then recommend who for the program to participate. As you said, since this is an expensive program and that we are able to offer it at no cost through the grant, we can only accept 30 students in the first cohort. However, as you saw in the last slide that I just showed, is that we are also building a national program. And so what we hope to be able to do in the future is connect students with the appropriate pathway based on their experience. So if you go back and look here at these other institutions, collectively, we're looking at over 615 students over the 2 years. Other institutions may have other programs that accept more students or that focus on different work roles. And so moving forward, there will be more opportunity to kind of try to help connect the dots and connect students with the right fit program for them. Okay, and then what was the second part of the question?
I think you answered it. It was, well, how will they be able to reapply for the following year?
Yes, absolutely. You can reapply. You can apply to the advanced program if you complete the entry-level program that we offer this year, but you can also reapply in general. And we hope, as I mentioned, to then have more alignment with the initiatives offered by the other CAE institutions so that then we can refer students to the appropriate pathway as applicable.
Okay. And there's two last questions centered on the certification. Is the certification a must for the program?
I'm not sure which certification you, if you could, whoever asked that question, if you perhaps you could in the chat window provide more information on what you mean. So if I get through, I'll keep going and we'll come back to that while you type in the chat, because we will offer industry certifications as part of the program. So students will have the opportunity to earn industry certs as part of the training that they receive. There's no certification that's required as an entry level as an application requirement to the program.
We do have program requirements that participants have to complete, and I think Dr. Elsheikh will go over those program requirements. That might give more indication or an answer to that question. If not, please let us know and I'll be sure to ask it at the end.
Yes, and we will in a few minutes also talk about the courses that we plan tentatively to offer as part of the program. So that may answer your question as well. And then we can certainly go back to that question if needed. And so some of the participation requirements are, we want to identify those who are interested in cybersecurity, and we're going to provide some resources for you to learn about the field and learn about the exciting career options that are in the field, that you can commit to participate in the program from March through July. You must make sure that you have the time. This is, as I mentioned at the beginning, an intensive 5-month training program. And so, and our goal is for it to help each and every one of you succeed. And so it's important that you start by looking at your schedule and making sure that you have the time to commit to working hard during that time frame. You must have your own computer that is internet connected and has camera and mic, and our team can provide more information on recommended minimum specs for that computer. Most of what you'll be doing will be through virtual connections to our Florida Cyber Range. And so that kind of simplifies the process and the requirements for your own individual computers. You have to agree to participate in all the programs and sessions. So we will have a schedule of courses as well as additional professional development sessions. For example, as I mentioned, career development, a career fair. You will need to participate in those. Dedicate time towards self-study and completing all program requirements on a weekly basis. And so, as I mentioned, the courses will be run asynchronously. You'll have assignments or tests or other assessments to complete, surveys, and it'll be your responsibility to keep up with the courses and complete all the requirements weekly. And then take any industry certification exams during the course duration or within 2 weeks of each course completion, and report your results to the program coordinator. So we want to help make sure that you earn those certifications as well. Okay, on the application requirements then, how to apply and what to include. So these are, it is very important for those of you interested to go to the website, uwf.edu/cyberskills2work. And if maybe somebody could post that, one of our team members could put that in the chat window, that might be helpful. And read through all the requirements in detail and make sure you check them off when you apply. So there's an application form that you will be required to complete and submit. That application form is linked through our website. It is due by February 19th of this month. In addition to that, you will need to submit supporting documents, and those should be done via email, a single email to Monica Respondic, and that's her email right there, with the these supporting documents as attachments. So this is the list of supporting documents in addition to the application form: up-to-date resume, copy of unofficial transcripts for your most advanced degree, 2-page letter of intent, and the requirements for that letter are on the website. So again, refer to the website for additional information, and at least 2 professional recommendation letters. Again, I see the question in the chat window, how will that be evaluated? That will be part of the package. So, when we say 2 letters of professional recommendations, my advice would be to look for people who can speak about your professional experience, whether it's somebody who can speak about your service in the military, your service as a first responder, somebody who could speak about your employment. If you have any IT or cyber experience, somebody who could speak about that. And so we're just looking again for that breadth of that breadth of preparation, readiness, and commitment for the program. So somebody who could speak about your commitment based on prior experience. That would be my recommendation. And you can include more than 2. We're requiring at least 2 professional recommendation letters. And we added professional, back to the question, as we recommend, not personal letters, right? So having them come from people you worked with or oversaw your work, or make for a much stronger letter. Okay, so all that is due, not only the application form, but then the documents that I just mentioned and that are listed here are due by the application deadline. So those documents you can attach as PDFs and send them to Monica. And if you have any questions, let her know. And then this is also very important to note. The last bullet is that if you are selected, initially selected for the program, you'll get the initial kind of notification and then the final approval. You will be required to submit additional documentation to verify your citizenship or permanent residency, your military or first responder service, and or employment. So please be thinking ahead to those documents so that you can have them ready if requested. Yes, professors would count as professional recommendations as well. And like I said, I mean, be thinking about the breadth, maybe perhaps ask different people based on different experiences that you've had who can show or highlight different experiences, different characters, different things that you bring to the table and bring to the program. Okay, so here is the kind of tentative time frame for the program. The application deadline will close on February 19th, so get your applications in and start working on those. And this is all preliminary and subject to change, so make sure that we do have your email addresses by virtue of registering for this. So we will provide program updates if any dates or anything changes along the way. We will notify you. But tentatively, the plan is to review and do the selection by the beginning of March, by March 5th. And then the following week, do the notification and submission of additional verification documentation that I just mentioned. So start thinking about those documents as well. And then launch the program, including the orientation session and the courses. The courses will start after March 15th. So while the program formally starts on the beginning of March, the courses will start a little bit later, and we would anticipate getting a course schedule to those who have applied out by March the 8th. And then the program will run through the end of July. So you won't be taking courses the entire time. There will be, again, when we get that course schedule out, there'll be some dates that are scheduled for the courses, and those are the dates you really want to block off and make sure you've got the time for. We will try to provide some flexibility and allow some break time in between. And also there will be some sessions such as a career session or career fair that we would encourage you to participate in as well. Okay, so a little bit about the program and courses. I mentioned that, we really focus on the competencies that are needed. And if you look at kind of the employers and, higher education in general, there's a big focus right now, not on the degree, but on, do you have the right skills? Do you have the right competencies for the job? And it's crucial in a field like cybersecurity, where it's very skills-based, many of the roles, and it continues to change. And so that will be a primary focus for this program. We will also leverage our Florida Cyber Range, which you see there in the background in the pictures. That is our data center at the Center for Cybersecurity that houses the Florida Cyber Range. And we use that to, we use that to provide that hands-on skills development in our courses and our training. It's a virtual platform that we operate and maintain at the center. And our faculty are able to leverage that and integrate it into their training in order to make sure that we're not just talking about threat attacks and breaches. We're actually immersing you and providing hands-on and skills and labs and exercises that will help you gain those competencies. All the courses are mapped to the NICE Cybersecurity Workforce Framework. If you're not familiar with that, it's developed by NICE, is a component of the NIST, National Institute for Standards and Technology. It stands for the National Initiative for Cybersecurity Education. And they've developed a very comprehensive framework that identifies various work roles in cybersecurity across 7 categories and what the knowledge, skills, and tasks are needed for each work role. And so we make sure not only to map to that, we encourage employers to map to that as well, so that we can all speak the same language and help get you hired and get you skilled for the right roles. These are some of the courses that we plan to offer as part of the program this year. Cybersecurity Fundamentals, which offers an introduction to cybersecurity to really kind of get everybody on the same foundation. CompTIA Security Plus, which is very much in demand in cybersecurity roles. It's an industry certification that many employers are often looking for in entry-level positions. Fundamentals of Network Defense, and System Administration or Linux administration is also another topic that is very highly needed for many entry-level cybersecurity positions. I want to, I think we've only got a few slides left. Okay, hold on. So maybe let me finish up this last slide of resources, and then I'm going to open it up to our team if they want to add anything about these courses, and then go back to the Q&A that we have. So we will share these slides, the recording afterwards, so don't worry about jotting all this down real quick if you can't. We'll share the recording, but these are some resources, and many of these are also on our program website that will help you learn about the cybersecurity career opportunities and work roles. For example, that fourth one, the Cyber Career Pathways tool, is a great tool to explore different cybersecurity work roles and what they involve, what kind of tasks, what kind of knowledge and skills you need for them. CyberSeek, the third one on there, will show you different job openings by state or by local metropolitan area, and which industry certs are needed for those job openings and which knowledge and skills are needed for those. So I invite you to look at those resources. Okay, so I think now we are also going to go to Q&A time. And before we do that, I want to ask if any of our team has anything to add to the presentation so far.
Dr. Clark, I do want to acknowledge we have another team member that joined us. Gretchen, do you want to introduce yourself to the group?
Thanks, Monica. Hi, guys. Awesome turnout today. Very excited about this program. Great job, Eman and team. So my role at the center is business development and business strategy. So I think I'll have some part in helping connect you guys through our partner community with those jobs once you skill up in training. So super excited to see all this come together. Thanks, Monica, for allowing me to introduce myself, and thanks for coming, everybody.
Thank you, Gretchen. We do have some questions that were in the chat room that I want to make sure we bring up. We had someone that was, a couple of folks were asking about the commitment of time on an average, and maybe this is a question for the faculty. How much time do you anticipate that a student would take each week to complete assignments and participate in class?
Let me chime in there real quick. So each course, most of the courses, not all of them, are 15 contact hours. Is like typically if you map to college credit, it's like 1 credit hour. So if it's a 15 contact, security plus is more, but I'm just talking about most of the courses. So if it's a 15 contact hour course, we definitely expect you to work 15 hours, provided you have the right skills, prerequisite skills coming into the course. If you do not have, then it may be required, or it may be even better for you to spend a couple extra hours to get up to speed. So for example, and this example always comes up when we teach courses. Many of our courses, for example, some of the technical courses like network defense or threat intelligence require some amount of Linux knowledge. And if you're not familiar with Linux at all, if you don't even know the command line, then you probably would going to require a few extra hours to get yourself familiarized with that. So, 15 contact hour, if a course is 15 contact hour, you would definitely need 15 hours. Keep that in mind. And then maybe depending on what your background is, you may need a couple extra hours as well. Hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you. The other question that came up, is the program aimed more at individuals in Florida, or does location matter?
No, it's we are running the program asynchronous online. so that we can cater to eligible participants across the country and across the globe. And so, back to if you meet the eligibility criteria, you can be anywhere. In terms of kind of the flexible time, I was answering that question in the chat window. That it is asynchronous, so that allows you the flexibility that if you're on a different time zone or something to meet the requirements. However, you do need to keep in mind that the courses will have deadlines associated with them. So the courses treat them as courses that you will take in a training program or educational program. There will be assessments included in the courses, whether those are labs or quizzes or tests or discussion posts, and there will be due dates or deadlines for those. So you will just have to make sure that then you can schedule your time to participate, but you could be successfully move through.
Monica, let me jump in for a second because there are some questions about Security Plus. This is the SY0601 exam. I've been involved with CompTIA for a number of years, over a decade, and we are proceeding with a new exam. In terms of time, it really depends on, like Tatunker said, your previous experience and capability. I know in Security Plus, there may be some things that come up. There are 32 labs, for example, in the program, and we're prepared to help you with that. What I would say is, this is a commitment for your career. So the time you spend would be reflective of your goal. And, folks, especially you folks that are military veterans, you fully understand this kind of training. I've had training from TRADOC, which is the Army way of doing things, and my courses are very similar to that process. So we try to do everything we can to help you identify any gaps in your learning. And all you need to do, it's very important you do this, contact your instructor if you hit a point where you're just completely off the mark. Let us know what's going on, and we can try to intervene and give you ways to make sure you're successful.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an extremely important point that Guy just pointed out. We are not just another training provider. Please keep that in mind. We are a university. We really care for your learning. So we would make sure that all of you who are part of the program and other programs that we have, that all of you are up to speed. You learn what you are supposed to learn. If you fall behind, we would help you. So we'll do everything that we can to help you out.
Great, thank you. And what other questions do we have from the participants, whether you want to post in the chat window or unmute and speak up? It's your time. And I'm going to move on to the last slide while we're doing that. We've still got plenty of time. We have 10 minutes, but I want to make sure that to give you all an opportunity to jot down Monica's contact information as well. So any questions either via audio and video or via chat?
There was one last question that I had seen on the chat previously, and it was centered on professional letters of recommendation. The question was, how will they be evaluated?
Okay, yeah, and did we, for that question, did we address it at the time, or is there, I'm looking back to see who asked that question. Do you have any follow-up? And feel free, like I said, to unmute if you'd like to speak up. And while we're waiting, so it'll be evaluated as part of the package. So if we go back to the application requirements here, let me see, there are certain, we're looking for all of this. So not only the eligibility requirements will be evaluated, the preferred requirements will be evaluated. And then part of the package to demonstrate, again, preparedness, readiness, and commitment to the program are these additional things. So resume, transcripts, letters, and your letter of intent. So I would say that your letters of recommendation should be, look for people who can speak to various aspects that can highlight, why you are ready for this, why you are a good candidate for this, how you are prepared, how you are committed to it. And perhaps if you have multiple, then speak to various aspects, whether that's through your professional employment, whether through your military or first responder service. That is what I would suggest for those letters. And if you've got additional follow-up, feel free to chime in, or if any of our team wants to chime in.
I think what the question was trying to get at is how will it be kind of added as a score, or how will it be considered to the rest of the information that's being submitted? And it really, what it does, the letter recommendation, it just validates what you've already submitted. It adds a little bit more of the story of who you are as an individual and why that person is recommending you for the program. So it's, again, just adding more information for the committee to consider on your behalf. I hope that answers the question. There's a couple more questions on the chat. Are there any hands-on training materials like books or manuals, or is everything digital?
So I was reading those questions in the chat. So everything is digital. So if you want to print them out, so we would give you lab instructions. So each lab is hands-on lab would have like a short set of instructions, and also because it's completely asynchronous, for each lab we would record a video showing you how you do the lab. I mean, please keep in mind this won't be like real hand holding, so you learn as you go. So everything would be digital. The short answer is everything is digital. We won't give you any printed manual or anything. There is one other question that I wanted to get to, Nate. Also, is it possible? I'm sorry. Are there hands-on? No, I'm sorry. So after 5 months, we should be knowledgeable enough to pass the 4 certs listed. We did not list 4 certs. We list only 1 cert, Security Plus. The other courses are general topics. We would give you the knowledge and skills. So, but those courses, at least the some of the courses that we listed there, for example, network defense, cyber fundamentals, these are not tied to any particular industry cert. This gives you more. Well, each course is tied to the NIST cybersecurity workforce framework, tasks, skills, knowledge, and competency, but it's not tied to a particular industry side. Is that clear?
Yeah, one thing that I may add there, finishing those courses, aside from Security Plus, you're going to be awarded a digital badge, and part of this digital badging system is a digital wallet where you could actually keep all those badges in. And then you could bring those to your prospective employers to validate that you actually have taken those courses. Now, each one of those badges has got metadata in it that tells the person looking at the digital badge and what has been covered on those specific courses.
Okay, I did see a question that is kind of worthy of asking. The question says, in your opinion, why is there a large shortage of cybersecurity job openings today?
Let me jump into that for a second. So the challenge in cybersecurity comes down to skill set. When you start talking about younger students, I came out of a state college where we developed a program for more 2-year folks. And a lot of young people aren't choosing the more challenging subjects like mathematics, computer science, computer engineering, or engineering in general. For example, there's a shortage of plumbers of all things because young people aren't going that direction. So that's one reason. The other reason is, in many cases, people that want to go in the cybersecurity field do not have the discipline personally or the character to realize that things they do online, things, the way they spend money, perhaps the way they choose to indulge in certain substances, they don't understand that that can impact their ability to get in this field. They're very specific requirements. I'm not saying you have to be a priest, but you have to live a certain kind of life to be a part of this. And this is one reason veterans are so important to filling these cybersecurity jobs because many of them have been in a military culture where those things aren't allowed. They have clearances, especially if you've just come out or you're transitioning out. You still have that situation where your clearance is in an archive for that 24 months. So if you're in that process, that's a much easier situation for an employer to bring you on board than to hire someone who's never had a clearance before and go through that investigative process. So this is one of the reasons. So it's a combination of people who have to make the decision and determination to get the skill set, and people who also have, the character and lifestyle necessary to be trusted with information at this level. I mean, our world is digital. Look at what Google and Amazon are worth. Those companies are worth billions of dollars. Well, if you took their assets, the physical things they own, and sold them in auction, you couldn't come up with a fraction of their valuation. They're valuable because of the data that they collect, the data that they own. So we live in a digital world, and people who interact with that digital data must be trusted, even the private sector, their background checks and so forth. So that's a big challenge. So for those folks who are coming out of the military who don't have to worry about those kinds of problems, it's very attractive to employers. The question is, can we help you achieve the skill set necessary to be what I call top of the keyboard ready? When you walk on the job, you have a skill set necessary to do certain things, at least from day one. And that's what we're trying to do here. So I think if we look at it from that perspective, that is why we're targeting veterans and first responders and people who understand that they've already had a position of trust. And to be in the cybersecurity profession, even as an instructor, you have to maintain that.
Does that answer your question? I think there was it was Christian. We hope that answered your question. We have another question, and probably this is the last question. Will the program certificates also count as college credit equivalents if we are interested in pursuing a degree through the University of West Florida?
That's a good question, and I'll back up. I know we're out of time, so I'm going to make it real quick and then turn it back over to Monica to close, but it does not offer, the courses do not offer college credit at this time. It is intended as a workforce development program. However, you would receive digital badges. And if you look through LinkedIn, for example, and other forums, you'll see that employers will sometimes look for those digital badges, as well as industry certifications for the certifications that you complete. So that's kind of in a nutshell. We are exploring college credit for some of the courses in the future. One other thing real quick, there was a question about the security clearances. What we see is that not all work sectors require those clearances. So for example, they may be more required in the defense sector than they are in the financial services sector. Of course, we encourage those who have or have had clearance to apply. However, as pointed out in the question, many employers will look to then sponsor a clearance or start the clearance process for individuals who they select for those positions. And I apologize that we ran out of time. Please send additional questions to Monica, and we would be happy to answer your questions. I'm going to turn it back over to Monica and thank the team for being with us, and thank all of you as well. Okay, back over to you, Monica.
Yeah, I do want to kind of extend that thank you to the staff and faculty who were able to join us this evening and provide additional information and share their insights on the field and the program that we're offering you. We are here, you'll see the slide with my information. My name is Monica Respondic, Program Coordinator. Please feel free to contact me, send me an email. I will be sending the recording of this session to everyone who registered. So don't worry, we got you covered. Any other questions, concerns, please email me and I'll be happy to address them as soon as I can. Anything else anybody wanted to add before I close the session? All right.
Are we allowed to ask one last question?
Sure.
I was curious that after the completion of the program, is there mentorship, like ongoing mentorship?
Mentorship for, like, can you be more specific? Like, what are the expectations?
Expectations as far as like guidance for what you should be doing on the job, whether there's some things you could be doing better, just general guidance?
Yeah, that's a great question. Go ahead,
We
Tim.
would be happy to. We would be happy to help you. I mean, if we within our sphere of knowledge, if you have questions or any guidance, definitely. I mean, so this is something goes beyond the discussion. So this is more philosophical answer. I mean, we being in higher education, we believe in long-term faculty-student relationship, right? I mean, it's just not a one-time thing. And I'm not saying we would treat you as traditional students. That's not the point. The point is the relationship that we build with you, that's going to go on, right? I mean, it's going to continue. So if we can help you in some ways, we will, absolutely. But I don't know what exactly the expectations are.
Thank
I
you.
know as the program coordinator, I'm here to support you and provide you any direction or guidance that I can, and connect you to the resources if I am unable to assist. So feel free to contact me if you have any questions or concerns. And for the rest of the group, again, thank you once again for joining us this evening. My name is Monica Respondic, and my email is provided. And if you still have questions, please feel free to send them to my way, and I'll be happy to address them. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you for giving up your afternoon to learn about our Cyber Skills to Work program. Have a good night.